The heck is this? Emergency. Press button, call for. That's kind of cool. It's 37 degrees outside and the high is 40 in March. You may be asking why that's important, and it's really not, unless you want to go outside and get some exercise or run or do whatever. In that case, it's extremely important, which is my case. I want to go run, but I'm really not feeling the 37 degree weather. I have stuff for it. I'm probably just gonna wait till later today and then go for a run because it's supposed to heat up to a balmy 40. I don't mind the cold. Coming out of winter, 37? Also, I saw a video last night talking about music and it got me thinking. So I'm gonna, after my run, we'll sit down and talk about it. Give you a little preview. It's talking about CCM music and originality. So, give you a little preview. Woo! Kind of cold, but we're running. Kind of cold. Okay, run was good. It's kind of cold, but it was fine. Yesterday, I was scrolling through Twitter on the couch like you do, and I came across this video with Pharrell Williams and Maggie Rogers. If you don't know who those people are, go stop this video, Google them, and check them out. So I'm watching this video, and Pharrell, basically what he's doing is he's at a university and he's critiquing a couple of students' like demos that they've made. And he's listening to Maggie Rogers' demo, and throughout the entire thing you can tell that he's like vibing out and he's kind of enjoying it. But what he says at the end really is what got to me. He said that he had 0 critiques for Maggie Rogers for her demo, and the reason that he didn't have any critiques was because she was being true to what she was being true to what her sound was.
And I'll tell you why. It's because you're doing your own thing. It's singular.
And then he goes into talking about everybody has a specific sound and an art form within themselves, and it doesn't always come out because we compare or we try to recreate other people's works. And he talks about the beauty of when you do your own thing, you can't compare it to anything else because nothing like that exists.
It's like when the Wu-Tang Clan came out, like no one could really judge it. You either liked it or you didn't, but you couldn't compare it to anything else.
And then he goes further into it saying that like when people start a song, normally they start the first words that they utter out of their mouth is, okay, I'm gonna make this kind of song. And they try to implement and pull different influences in, but it ultimately waters down and dilutes your specific sound.
You know, most of the time people will say, okay, I'm gonna make this kind of song. So it ends up sounding like something we've heard before or felt before, you know? And I feel like your whole story, I can hear it in the music.
And whenever you create a piece of art, your experiences in life, your unique perspective in life comes out in that art, whether you like it or not. And when you start to try to copy and implement other people to the point where you're strictly trying to get that vibe and you're trying to achieve that goal, there's something with that. But when that's your sole purpose and like you follow that roadmap too closely, I feel like you're in danger of killing what makes your music special, which is you. And this is really prevalent in the Christian music market. I can't tell you how many times I'm working with a client, they send me a demo along with a reference track or a vibes track, and they basically want me to completely copy verbatim the tones, the beats, and everything else with the track without trying to insult anybody. I'm not. It basically, you're creating a knockoff of what's already been recreated. And basically that video yesterday, watching it, got me thinking about CCM and a couple of the issues that I feel like I take with CCM, with it being cheesy and kind of overdone, or just it all sounds the same. But personally, I think the reason that it sounds like that, or it comes across that way, I don't think that's the intention at all, but I think it comes across that way because we're trying to ultimately recreate something that's already been done that may be hitting right now, like in music, instead of doing your own thing and encouraging other people to do your own thing. And this goes beyond like music. This goes to like video, just any art form at all. You take inspiration and learn from other people, but don't stop there. Take it the next step and learn how to implement it your way and create the piece of art that you're supposed to create. That's basically it. I thought the video was super interesting and intriguing. If I can find the full video, I'll link it down below. Basically, all I'm trying to say is just do what makes you special and don't compare yourself to other people. There's a famous quote, I don't know who it's by, but the quote is, "Comparison is the thief of joy," and it's so true. Get inspiration from other people, but don't just stop there. You have to take it a step further and, like I said, implement it yourself and make it your own.
Hello?
Hey, I'm here.
You didn't scratch the rim.
I thought I scratched the rim as I was pulling up, and I met a, that was cool. Savannah has a photo shoot about an hour outside of Nashville in a town called Cookeville. Interestingly enough, is home to a university. I didn't know that. He's doing a graduation shoot for somebody that just graduated from the nursing program here, I believe. It's kind of cool. I honestly just came because she promised me dinner afterwards, and I was raised to never say no to free food. Growing up, I was also really obese, so... Colleges are always interesting to me. For those of you that don't know, I went to college for a couple of years and I actually ended up dropping out just because I was going to school to do music. While I was in college, I was able to do music full time, but I was getting penalized for missing class to go do music. And eventually it just got to the point where it just made more sense for me to not really do school. That doesn't mean that it's not the right choice for some people. Just for me and my personal, for my situation, it didn't really make much sense. But because of that, college has always been kind of interesting, and I really do enjoy going to different universities or whatever, and kind of seeing how it's a little bit different than the one that I went to. I think Savannah's taking pictures right there, and I'm trying not to get into her shot, but I really want to go explore over there. All right, it's happening. Zipping the coat all the way up. It's just too cold. All right, they're gone. I'm clear to, wow. It might be a little too cold to try this out, but I think this is a little water feature. It's so cold. So I get asked a lot, more than you'd think, if somebody should go to college to do music or art or whatever, and my answer is always the same. And that answer is, if you feel like you can do whatever you want to do without school, then the smart decision is to not accrue a bunch of debt and get into like a bunch of like financially taxing decisions, especially with something like this where you may not see a return on your investment for a while. But on the other hand, if you think that you could benefit from it by either making connections or learning a craft or perfecting a craft that you're trying to do, then by all means go to education, whether that be a college or a course online or whatever. I think it's never a bad idea to educate yourself more on a subject. It's just the question is, do you need to for whatever you're specifically doing? And I really can't answer that it's literally a case-by-case individual basis, but that's always my advice. And I think with Savannah and I, with her finishing school and me not finishing school, and us both doing something similar, like both being creative people and doing like photo and video as jobs and stuff, I feel like we're a perfect example of you can totally go the traditional route and go to school and get the degree, or you can kind of self-educate and figure it out on your own. It literally depends on like the kind of person you are. For me, education, we never really clicked, but for Savannah, it's the total opposite. She learns and thrives in that environment. Basically what I'm trying to say is, and it's advice that I would give myself as I would give younger John this advice, but not everybody is the same, and we retain and learn and create things differently, and that's kind of what makes, and I think that's what makes the world such a beautiful place, is the diversity. Yeah. Savannah said an hour, and it's been 20 minutes. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna survive this cold. It's like to the point where it's hard to talk and like formulate sentences because my mouth is so frozen. So Paige over there asked us if we wanted to go on a hike with her for her birthday, and I said yes instantly. Savannah, it's a little more hesitation, but I think she's having fun. How are you liking the hike so far?
It's good. That's because of water.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
See where that sign said no swimming. Savannah's they're taking pictures. Just go up the trail, maybe have a siesta, a smoke, whatever you're into. That's where we're going. Taking a little break. I'm fine. They needed the break. You doing good? You okay? Yeah?
Ready to go. I'm waiting on you.
No, all these signs are kind of making me nervous. That might be it. I don't mean to sound like that guy, but really wasn't that bad. I'm sure going up's gonna be really wasn't that bad. Falling I think this is the turnaround point. I think you go further down, because Paige was saying that you can take pictures like underneath the waterfall, but that area is roped off for some reason. Totally fine. It's still beautiful. I think I may get the drone out.
We're just like into the focus on the falls too.
Cool shot. Well, more than one, but. Are you filming me? Yeah, I took it up and it started like drifting without me telling it to drift, and yeah, I didn't want to make a. How many drones have we lost? 3?
3.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose a 4th. All right, starting to climb like a bunch of mountain goats. So this trail said that it was 4 miles. It didn't feel like that. Like it felt like maybe a mile. There was a portion that was closed like down to the last little bit of the falls, but it didn't feel like 4 miles. It's not that bad. You just gotta use your muscles. See, the thing about hiking with a bunch of photographers is you walk about 10 feet, stop, take pictures for about 5 minutes, then you go another 10 feet, cycle continues. One thing that I have noticed with Tennessee is it has, what is that? Stuck my hand in something. Tennessee has incredible waterfalls. On this one hike we've seen like 3 or 4. They're great. I think this is the last one we're going to. Also, I think it's funny, whenever you bring a camera to like a trail like this, without a doubt, if you like stop somewhere and take pictures, there's always going to be somebody with a cell phone or a group of people with a cell phone that stop and take pictures. And I think it's just because they assume since you have a camera, you must know what you're doing. It's incredibly funny. It's bright. So it's currently 12:30, I believe. I just came back from a run. It is so much warmer than it's been. It's like in the 70s. It's perfect outside. Not really sure what we're doing today. We're doing taxes, which it's not fun. And that's it's pretty much all that's on the agenda so far. I'm currently making lunch, which we don't have any food like normal. So I'm making spaghetti, mostly because that's pretty much the only thing I know how to make. That and omelets, and I'm really tired of making omelets. So, did I mention that I'm not very good at cooking? So yesterday, after that the making lunch and spaghetti scene, we literally did nothing. Like, I'm talking about like we sat on the couch and watched TV, and like that's the kind of nothing we did. And honestly, up until recently, that would have kind of freaked me out, and I would try to avoid that at all costs. I'm really trying to emphasize rest and like having it to where the seasons that we're not super busy, I don't make myself busy just because I have the free time, and to try to kind of just to pump the brakes a little bit. Not to say that I'm not gonna pick things up and start working more again, because I will, but just trying to have some kind of balance. That's one nice benefit to making these videos once a week, where it's just a recap of my week. I feel like I can breathe, and I feel like the ideas that I am able to craft and film and make, I think they're a little bit better because I have that time to breathe, and it's not just like shoot this now. Basically, all that to be said, I think I'm starting to grow and learn how to properly rest. Not to the point where it's just being lazy, but actual rest. It's also raining right now, and I would love to go for a run because it's 50 degrees and that's like the perfect weather to run, but it's like just a little too heavy for a rain jacket, and it would just be miserable. It's supposed to let up in a couple of hours. I'm gonna see what it is in a couple hours and maybe go for a run then. All right, gotta go make the coffee. The rain let up a little bit, so I'm out on a run. This rain jacket should keep me warm and dry. Do you see those windows? Or I guess lack thereof. Why would you do that? All right, we have a phone call in about 30 minutes. It's for like business stuff, but until then, and maybe during the phone call, if it depends on how much I need to input, I may work on a couple of shorts. I'm trying a new format for shorts, and I'm pretty excited about it. But I'll get into all that in a minute. I actually need to get started. So the format is generally the same, but I'm talking about the shorts now. I'm focused more on telling a complete story instead of like just an interesting clip or something like that. And I think based on the couple that I've done, it seems to be a lot better. And honestly, I like that a lot more because I was doing the like, oh, cool little clippy, like, oh, this is a cool clip, look at this thing for a while, and it lacked artistry for a better, I can't think of a better word. So doing this, like, and actually having like to figure out like a story within a video, I like that a lot more. If you have any opinions on this, let me know, because I'd love to hear it. All right, I just finished one short. Now I'm adding captions, which I didn't know this, but actually in Adobe, you can just have it transcribe it for you, and then you'll review the script that it makes, make sure that there's no weird things that it didn't catch or it misspelled or whatever. And then you can just add the captions in automatically, and I don't have to type everything out. It's great. I guess it's a new feature. I don't know. All right, and just like that, I am exporting the video. I'll show it to you right now. Today is going to end with me seeing the oldest oak tree in North America. Before we do that, we had to get some coffee, and not just any coffee, French coffee. And while getting French coffee, we obviously had to get some croissants. Then we headed to the tree, and we saw somebody cleaning a porta potty with a hose. While we were there, I decided to Google a couple of facts, and this tree is actually 400 to 500 years old and sees almost 500,000 people a year, which is kind of amazing. Also, it's pretty cool, and it takes like no time to make these, and I think the captions really help, especially if you're like not watching it to where you can hear like the audio, like if you're like in an office or something like that, you can still read along, and I think it's cool. Let me know what you think. Okay, I have about 5 minutes before our phone call. Gotta find Savannah.